Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he stopped immediately there. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cook. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Second down, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Well, look at the numbers for Coleman in last week's game. 13 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter able to drop him for a loss of 4. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Everson Griffin in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. The numbers a week ago for Cook. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out. From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Poole. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They start the drive with Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Out of the gun now on third down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
First down, here's Cousins. And incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Handoff comes to Cook, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to...
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And we are tied at 7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually obtain that first down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Detroit, Detroit, gun, 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 gun.
On play action, they'll throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Throwing, Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jack Doyle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Extra point try by Bailey. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Bailey now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Now, a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Being chased out left. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Gun, 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 gun.
They'll look to throw here. Flushed out right. Officially a minute 54 to go in this 1st half. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down. Last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Back to throw here. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 21-7. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see... After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Rolling in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. All right, so the timeout over. All 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Now a second down throw for Cousins. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So out come the Falcons now. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is. Right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. He'll drop to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Linval Joseph in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, with their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. A beautiful spin and room to run. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 34 yards there and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion, or even worse, an interception.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Everson Griffin getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. Elsewhere, they have gone to the second half in Carolina. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Cam Newton with 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got out. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. third down, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah. And now the up man has it. It's a fake. Still going. They can't stop him. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to throw. On the screen, this is Coleman. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on third down.
And ordinarily on third down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. This will be taken at the 10. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, boys, got four down. Hey, one set.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Drops it off for Coleman. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll look to throw now on first down. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons cut into that lead.
Yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Vikings, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everybody.